everyone, and we welcome you here in the Village of Hempstead, having come before our Deputy Mayor Hobbs and our Trustee John Ryan. And thank you for allowing me to speak. Long time no see. It's great seeing you all, but I still feel the same way. I am no longer a tenant who resides in a rent-stabilized unit, but I still do collaborate with housing and our different employees here within the Village of Hempstead who works in our buildings department. They have been bringing in a lot of these owners within the Village of Hempstead with our 3,827 units. We have over half throughout Nassau County. It's about 8,000 units. We are at the half and at the tip of it. So, in saying all of that, a lot of these units are going to the fair market value. I heard you all speaking a little bit earlier, stating that there are units here that's $600 and $700. You might be speaking about the Mitchell-Lama buildings, which is here adjacent to the Village of Hempstead, and it's not many units in there that are at $600, $700, and or $800 because they got the major capital improvements. And as I'm not sure if Barry Stein had stated it, but you had indicated that, and then it was basically rebutted by Rob, stating that with these units here, that they're profitable. Well, it's more so you would feel as if it would be profitable for the tenants, but it's profitable to the owners, simply because the improvements that's made with these major capital improvements, the tenants' rents get increased. So therefore, the tenants' rents are getting increased. So with those units that were at one particular time, with the Mitchell-Lama units, which are now rent stabilized, these tenants' rents are going up to $1,000, $1,200, $1,300. And then what these owners are doing, they're evicting the tenants out of these particular units, and then when you get the vacancy allowance, it is going some of them over the fair market value. And then I had heard one of the landlords had stated that in the executive towers that you had the landlord within 17 days they were back up and operable. Well, if that is the case, I'm sure that they did get reimbursed by the insurance company because you do have insurance in the buildings.
Absolutely not.
Well, I'm not going to rebut you with that, but if you have to wait for the insurance and you chose not to wait for the insurance company, you do get reimbursed if you put out money yourself, and you're not going to just not accept that money from the insurance company.
Can I make a point? Just if I might, because I know you made a mention.
Can I finish and then you can rebut?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then to share with you, earlier you all were speaking about our senior citizens. Now I don't just want to speak about the residents or the seniors within the Village of Hempstead, but I can state this within people who reside in Great Neck and Rockville Center. I have a sister-in-law who lives in Rockville Center, a rent-stabilized unit, and I have a brother who lives in a rent-stabilized unit in Great Neck, because my family lives in Great Neck, but my brother does live in a unit out there, so I can speak on behalf of all of the seniors. They do not, most of them receive rent stabilization, but they do get 30% of their monthly gross income, and they have to come out of their pocket too, and they don't make much money with Social Security, disability, and or that income. So therefore, these seniors are being evicted. Okay, senior citizens are being evicted. They are facing tenant and landlord court with Judge Fairgraves. I go to court with some of these tenants because they do call me. And then with the vacancy allowance and these pilots that's given to these different building owners, it's not fair that they're getting these pilots and then they're not upholding their fair bargain of the unit, with those particular units that they're in, because the conditions are bad. Our courts here on Wednesdays have tripled the amount. Okay, we have, as the Deputy Mayor and our trustee have stated, we've hired 6 new employees, so therefore we are making changes here. SCREE has been put in place, as you all are aware. I used to do the housing. It was put in place prior to me coming here, and I started in 2005, so we have had SCREE here. We're now looking into getting DRE, but we don't have many people with DRE with the disability rent increase exemption. And some of the landlords in these particular buildings in the Village of Hempstead, I am aware, they're moving tenants into the buildings, illegal units, and they're charging $200 per head per month. Okay? These are illegal units that's down on these lower level floors. They're utility rooms, and that's illegal. And they're not reporting it to DHCR, the New York State Division of Housing and Community Renewal. Tenants are coming and reporting this. We're now getting our inspectors to go out to in the Village of Hempstead to go out here and find them, and they have been coming into court. So to say all of that, what my rebuttal is, I do not feel that the landlords do deserve an increase. A lot of the landlords are not keeping their share of the bargain, And as Rob had stated earlier, you know, there's different people who's facing the same type of, you know, situations in other villages throughout Nassau County who does receive the rent stabilization, so therefore I say no to the increase. And especially in Hempstead, and we are almost half at 3,827.
Where do I start? First of all, regarding some of the MCIs that we spoke about, I think there's a misnomer here that some landlords, all they want to do is do MCIs so they can raise the rent. Notwithstanding that they're trying to increase their maintenance and take care of their building and maintain the value. It takes 7 years, if I'm not mistaken, to recoup the particular investment. And I think so eloquently the particular landlord from Executive Tower spoke about the proportionality of it, that it doesn't take into effect some of the non-stabilized apartments and how it's spread out. But the point is to keep it simple. It takes 7 years to get your investment back, just to get that particular money, let alone any kind of loss of opportunity of an investment. I don't think it's unreasonable for a landlord to invest in the building, to maintain the building, since there are people here that claim that some of the landlords don't. And for what they have to go through for an MCI in terms of the time and the cost, and then to wait 7 years to maintain their building, notwithstanding that any opportunity for return on their investment elsewhere, I don't think it's unreasonable. I don't think most landlords are just looking to churn it, as some of the indications have made. Look, not all landlords are wonderful, but not all tenants are so wonderful either. Sometimes some of the particular tenants complain about maintaining the building, that it's not maintained well, and there are certain things done on the halls and what have you, but the landlords didn't do that. So, you know, I just think that some of the statements you've made in terms of the MCIs, I don't tend to agree with you. Furthermore, when you make a statement, a general statement, that all landlords or landlords, that it's hearsay and that you've heard, I don't think it's fair to brand all the landlords like that when there are no facts to substantiate what you're saying. Now, some of it might be true, but a lot may not. And it's not fair to ask this particular board, predicated on what you said, that all landlords, and I hearsay, and I heard this. I don't think it's fair that no one's here to defend themselves. Just like someone made a comment about Sam Walton. I know Sam Walton, I knew him. I knew him for many, many years. He was not only a well-educated person, but a generous person. And there was someone that made a statement about Sam. Unfortunately, he's not here to defend himself, but his son Stuart is, and I know Stuart for many years, who also has spoken very eloquently on behalf of the landlords. So all I want to do is just to make sure that this board understands the balance, and when statements are made that aren't substantiated by facts, it should be discounted substantially.
I just wanted to make a point too, when we've been talking about a lot to do with Superstorm Sandy, and repairs and so on. There are tenants, obviously, whose things were damaged and so on. When they go to replace those things, or there's no tax write-off. When you come to repairing a building, any repairs that a landlord is going to do on his business are going to end up being business write-offs as well.
Catherine, I don't mean to interrupt, because you did not interrupt me, I'm sorry, but I also want to make a point that it is flat wrong to say that the landlords have been compensated with insurance. I know for a fact.
I didn't say they
No,
have been
I wasn't
compensated
directing
with
it to you. I was directing it that a lot of the people assume that the landlords, because of Sandy, many, many landlords have been hurt. I know for some of my own clients that have laid out the money, that have waited and waited. If they didn't have the money to fix it up with their own funds, people would still be out in the street. And they waited and they waited, and they didn't get 100%. They didn't even get 80% of what they should have gotten. I just want to make it, not Catherine, I don't want to address it, you and I, but I want to, at the same time, there was something I forgot. They're not 100% compensated. It is not a windfall. And if anyone has dealt with any insurance companies, not only a real estate standpoint, but any standpoint with an insurance company, it's very rare that you find a windfall. And I just wanted to make the point.
I just wanted my point to be clear too, after you said that this is part of doing business and it is part of an expense that you write off, compared to and it's unfortunate the way this has to do, I think, with the change in government and so forth, the way things work, is that if you're a tenant and you're in a position and your items got damaged. You can't write that off. However, you can as a landlord write off the repairs and maintenance you do to a building.
Assuming you pay for it with your own funds and that you.
Well, you
own
pay for it with
the
your own funds and then get a deduction later. We can go on and
But
on.
let me